This technique is to mobilize the posterior oblique line, which runs across the back from the glute to the opposing lat. The way that we're going to do this to start is we're going to place one foot forward with the rear heel off the ground. I'm going to take my opposite hand of the forward leg. I'm going to hinge back at the hip and attempt to touch either the outside of my foot, shin, or knee. I'm going to place my other hand on my lower back so that I know that I'm not rounding my back. And as you can see, I'm demonstrating here touching my knee first. Then I'll demonstrate touching the side of my shin, and then my foot. An important mechanic I would like to point out is that I want to try to keep both hips pointed forward, which is why the rear heel is off the ground. And also you'll notice that I'm driving my hips backward in a hinge motion, keeping my shin nearly straight up and down. This is a good way to know whether or not you're hinging properly. If your knee is driving forward, it's not a proper hinge. You can see here that in time, I want to work up to hinging with as straight a knee as I can tolerate without pain or discomfort in order to increase my range of motion. You can also see that I am taking my thumb pointing backward at the top and then backward at the bottom, very similar to how we stretch in the spiral line. You can also see that my feet are not lined straight up, but they are roughly hip width apart, and my goal is to keep my hips pointed forward. You should feel this stretch in your hamstring, possibly in the back of the rear hip capsule, and up through the lower back, and potentially even into the lat. So make sure that you do this nice and slow and safely, and just work the range of motion and allow it to open up and hydrate the tissue.